Hi everyone. In light of what is happening at the moment with the COVID, the confinement, we're all finding ourselves spending a lot more time at home. And what this means is we also spend a lot more time with our thoughts. And that is can be a pretty difficult environment to live in because our thoughts suddenly take a lot more space. And this can cause anxiety. It can cause, the realization that there's a lot of negativity going on inside. It can cause some confusion because we have less of an external reference going on, maybe less interaction. We can also feel quite lonely, maybe also lack of motivation. So I wanted to address all of this under the topic of mental disorders and maybe share with you, or not maybe, but do share with you the Ayurvedic approach on that. And it's an interesting thing to look at because the first chapter of the Astanga Hrdayam, which is one of the main texts of Ayurveda, and the first sutra actually addresses that. And it tells us that mental or mind disease is actually the number one cause of all the other diseases. So to be precise, we're just going to look at the cause of mental disorders. We're going to be looking at what are the symptoms and also at the treatment options. So in this first sutra, it explains that attachment of the mind is the main cause of all disorders. And attachment is just born within us. It's our nature. As we grow, children don't experience this, but as we grow, we develop attachment for different things. And attachment is also aversion. It's the same thing. It's just a different spectrum of the mind. Either you are attached, that means I want something, but I'm not going to get it, or I can't get it. And aversion is I don't want that, but it happens to be in my life and I have to deal with it. So Ayurveda tells us that this is the root cause of every imbalances, and it also is the cause of certain symptoms, like which I'll read out. Greed, anger, lust, arrogance, jealousy, selfishness. All these are symptoms that can be manifested in our mind because they do not exist as such. They are just imaginative. And these things are causing us a lot of anxiety, confusion, and restlessness. So anxiety is basically when we're acting without thinking. There's no alignment between our thoughts and our action. We're just acting like crazy. Confusion is when we don't even know what to do, and this may lead to complete lethargy and non-action. So all of these may be happening more than usual in these times. So that's something I really want to mention today. In particular, the treatment. So in this first sutra, and it's the first thing they mention, is how to manage it. And the sutra says that we should obey the unique and rare physician. So who is this unique and rare physician? According to the textbook, this is the Supreme Lord, or Brahma, or it could be God in other traditions. Could be manifested through our intuition. And this is the secret, is to be able to follow that intuition. But how do we do that? Because we haven't been able to do that for so long, most likely. We forgot the connection. So how do we reconnect with this unique and rare physician that we all, have within us? Ayurveda proposes two options. And, actually, the first one is from the Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna mentions to Arjuna that he should learn the practice of meditation. And meditation is one way to remain focused on the self and the intuition. The second way to act with the Lord in mind. So whatever you do is just make it an offering to this rare physician, to the higher force, you completely detach yourself from the fruit of your actions. You just focus on the action and devote it to something greater. And that's also a fantastic way to learn detachment. And stay away from all these negative symptoms. You can't prevent them from happening. They will happen in your body. They'll happen all the time in your mind. They'll just keep happening. And it's very difficult to suppress them, and it's not recommended. However, what you can do is to learn to distract your mind or focus your mind on something a bit greater. And necessarily all these lower thoughts, lower emotions will be let go of and won't happen. So you want to cultivate that sattvic. Sattvic is peaceful. It means it's the light, it's purity state of mind. And that's what you really want to try and cultivate and promote inside of you and train through meditation and through chanting, through being in nature, whatever activities you find is promoting these emotions in you. So that's what I wanted to share today. So basically the root cause of all mental disorders and also physical disorders is attachment. And this should be eradicated. The symptoms are lust, anger, greed, arrogance, jealousy, selflessness, ego, but they do not really exist. They're just made up in the mind. And the way to treat this is to reconnect with our intuitive self, our intuition, the greatest physician that exists, that is within us, and be able to obey him with devotion and firmness.